Hello and welcome back. In this video, we will be solving a mixture problem. So let's go ahead and begin by reading. And it says, how many liters of a 30% solution must be mixed with a 50% solution to make 200 liters of a 42% solution? So here we have 2% solutions, a 30% solution, and a 50% solution. And that is to make 200 liters of a 42% solution. So let's find out how much of each we need. Here is the setup. I want you to take a look here at the beakers. We'll let A represent the amount of 30% solution. That means 200 minus A comes from the 50% solution. Together, they make 200 liters of a 42% solution. So let's go ahead and write an equation, and I will explain what's going on after I do that. So we have 0.30A plus 0.50A, or 0.50 times 200 minus A, because this is the rest. And that's set equal to 0.42 times 200. Okay, so let me go ahead and explain what's going on here. So each part represents the amount of pure substance. So we have 30% of A plus 50% of the rest, which equals 42% of the total. So what we're going to do to solve this is multiply by 100 to keep things simple. So that means we don't have any more decimals to deal with. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to bring down this 0.30A, but instead of it being a decimal, we're multiplying by 100. So what this means is that we can move this decimal point 2 places to the right. That's the same as multiplying by 100. So 0.30A becomes 30A. That's 30A plus, and you can see we have 0.50 times 200. That's being, so we're multiplying. So 0.50 times 100 is simply 50. So we're multiplying 50 times 200, which equals 10,000. Okay, again, we're distributing this 0.50 to the negative A. Again, 0.50 times 100 is simply 50. So a negative times a positive is a negative. So 50 times negative A is negative 50A. And this is equal to 0.42 times 100 is 42. 42 times 200 is 8,400. So we'll write 8,400 here. Okay, so now we can go ahead and do as we normally would. We're going to solve for A. So let's subtract 10,000 from both sides. Okay, and so we are left with 30A minus 50A equals negative 1,600. Okay, so let's go ahead and keep simplifying. We have 30A minus 50A, which is negative 20A. Because remember, our ultimate goal is to get A alone. And divide by negative 20 on both sides. Okay, so now A equals 80, because negative 1600 divided by negative 20 equals 80. So after simplifying, we get A equals 80, but what does this mean? Well, it means 80 liters of the 30% solution. So I'm going to go back to our beaker that has the 30% solution, and I'm going to write in 80 liters. Okay, so now the rest is, we can find out what the rest is by taking a look at the 50% solution. So we have 200 minus A. So all we're going to do is substitute. So 200 minus A, which is 80, equals 120. So we have 120 liters in the 50% solution. Okay, so the left beaker, of course, we have 80 liters. And then our center beaker is a total of 200 liters. And the right beaker has 120 liters. So 80 liters of the 30% solution, again, and 120 liters of the 50% solution combined to make 200 liters of a 42% solution. And you can easily add 80 liters plus 120 liters, which equals 200 liters. So this was problem 8 revisited. It is a clearer version of our percent mixture problem. If you found this helpful, please check out the next problem for more calm step-by-step math lessons on Math by TV.